Okay. Hi, everyone. I welcome you all to this very sad occasion. We are mourning the death of Manchester United's defense. So I welcome you all to the funeral ceremony of Manchester United's defense. So I am also wearing a black T-shirt because I am mourning the death of Man United's defense. Uh,
Oh, is that why you're
and
wearing that? Okay, okay.
I have I have dropped my sleeves, and United have dropped the standard of their defense. So we welcome you to the funeral ceremony, which will have no eulogy speech, but a completely emotional rant. So full disclosure, a total disclaimer to all of y'all. This video might be very long. This video is going to be full of unimaginable expletive words which you probably would have never heard of. will be will be a completely emotional and very hilarious outburst of, I don't know, it'll be an outburst of so many emotions which you never get to see on screen, because it's United, and obviously United brings the best out of all the fans. So without further ado, Dhanush, please, the stage is yours. Go ahead.
First of all, okay. Now, actually, how long, first of all, wait, before I start with the rant, how long did you take to think of all this?
No. I was just because like I was like, shit. This has to be the worst ever performance. So this has to have a special mention.
Yes,
And
yes.
how creatively can I start? This is the least creativity I could use, because that's what United deserves.
Dude, where do we start from yesterday? From the yesterday, dude, where do we start? Where do we start? There are so many things that, oh my God, I'm trying to keep myself so composed, now not like I'm trying
Yeah, I
after
could see that. Like when I was
yeah.
doing the intro, Dhanush just wanted to tear the screen apart,
Mm.
and he just wanted to destroy his webcam.
I was
So
I
it's all
was
yours. Go
I
ahead.
I was so mad yesterday that I was trying to compose myself because I knew that if I get angry, I would take it out in whoever was at my house. So I was just trying to compose myself. Like I went as soon as United lost. I went to bed as soon as United lost because I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't want to look at anyone's face because every single time I look at anyone else's face, I would imagine that Slabhead's face pulling Luke Shaw down, which was so stupid. So stupid, dude. Oh my God. Oh God.
We paid 80 million for a defender to tackle our own defender.
Dude, dude, I wanted him to get a red card instead of Martial. I wanted him to get a red card. Yappa. Dude, we made Ndombele look like Pogba, dude. Ndombele hasn't even played well this season, even last season too. He wants to leave Tottenham, and we made him look like Pogba, the Pogba who plays for French national team. Yappa, it was so embarrassing. Phew, yappa. But Steven, don't let me talk. Give me some, like, put some logical sense into what happened yesterday. Little bit of a logical
Okay,
sense.
so how shall we do it? Shall we break down each goals that we considered?
Let's begin from the moment the match began, like how it went on. Like we'll go through that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We begin the match, and 30 seconds into the game,
Yeah.
we do whatever we are best at. That is
Yeah.
winning penalties.
Yeah.
And Martial did well to, like, it was just a small contact, and Martial did well to make a big thing out of it and get us the penalty, win us the penalty, which
Yeah.
quite comfortably and quite obviously Bruno Fernandes converted.
Never misses a
So no
penalty.
big surprises there.
Never
No big
misses a penalty.
surprises there.
Yeah.
Never missed a penalty in the last 18 top flight games.
Yeah.
That was the stat.
Yeah.
So like all those people who had Bruno in their FPL team.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I thought, okay, fine. This is just going to be any other day. I thought Spurs might just pull off one or maybe two goals maximum.
Yeah.
Right? Watching the game ahead.
Yeah.
And just when you think of that,
Yeah.
Maguire, our world-class defender, the most expensive and the world-class defender, he makes even Van Dijk look so stupid in front of him. Such a genius move, Such a genius move. Instead of heading the ball to De Gea, He heads it to his chest, which bounces back to him. He puts it, and then again, instead of heading it back to the De Gea, he heads it to I don't know who, and the bastard, he pulls his own teammate down.
Who's trying to clear
Luke
the
Shaw.
ball? Who's trying to clear the
Yeah,
ball?
and Luke Shaw, Luke Shaw has no brains whatsoever. Because he's trying to pull him down. Luke Shaw might have thought it was some Spurs player who's trying to pull him down. So Luke Shaw also fell and got into the act, and he's like, hey, how can you do this? And the next thing you know, who was it? The first goal, who scored? Was it Kane or was it Ndombele? I think it was Ndombele.
Yeah.
Ndombele smashed it into the goal. And I was like, my God, is this some cluster level football that is being played in one of the KV schools?
Oh.
Because that was the level of defending that I saw there.
Yeah.
And I was only recovering from that trauma when United considered another stupid goal. Oh my God, I can't
Again, because of our best player on the pitch. Again, because of the best player that we have on the pitch.
Clearly. My God.
Best player.
I think the value of Maguire rises as and when he does stupid mistakes like this.
Yeah.
Like that is because you can't expect anything out of him, anything good from him.
Yeah.
So the only good thing that you can expect from him is him conceding goals for other teams.
Yeah.
So that is probably one of the main clause in his contract.
Yeah.
According if he performs according to that, his value rises, his stock rises.
Exactly. Like I'm actually after watching Sunday's match, I feel like we are gonna win the treble because we have Maguire, Lingardinho, Phil Jones, Marcus Rojo. We have classy player this kind of classy player in our team.
World-class defenders.
World-class defenders and attackers. Like it's no competition.
Yeah,
it's too unfair for the other team.
Yeah, Phil Jones has more goals than Messi and I don't know who in the Premier League. So that's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like that puts him about. I'm just throwing cliche lines from YouTube comments.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Dhanush, what did you think of the first goal? The beautiful goal that Tottenham Hotspur scored against United.
I would say that from the beginning, United only played good for 90 seconds. That's it. For 90 seconds, we played good. That's it. And then everything went down the drain. Everything the midfield wasn't good. Like the attackers didn't have anything to attack to, and the defense. Oh my God! I don't
world class.
I feel like because of our captain, the entire defensive unit looked horrible because of him. If you look at different goals, all the different goals, just because of him, all the other error happened. All the other. Maybe one or two left, but most of them goals were because of Maguire. Even the first goal, he could have just headed it towards Wan-Bissaka or towards Pogba in the forward, or he could have at least properly put it out to corner.
That Gandu, we'll get to him also. Pogba now.
Oh,
that guy is watching Kane on his side. He's just watching him like he's admiring him in some beauty pageant contest. Instead of marking him and for tracking at him, keeping track of him, he's just letting Kane go. And what's his face? I think this was the first goal when Son assists to Kane and Kane converts it quite easily. Right?
That is the third goal.
Oh yeah, that was the third goal.
Goal.
Second goal I think was Ndombele.
Second goal was Son. Second goal was where Maguire didn't cover him where he took the free quickly.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah. So the first goal was Ndombele, correct? And he's made 3 mistakes. This was pointed out by Tim Sherwood also in the halftime analysis.
Yeah.
First of all, he has to clear the ball, which he I don't know, like a clown, he heads it to some other player.
Yeah.
And he's pulled down low. Before that, he has to head it back to De Gea, which he doesn't.
Yeah.
And he's pulled Luke Shaw down. And he calls himself a leader. He's given the armband. At least show some responsibility.
Yeah.
Right. Put some common sense into it. Put some basic sense into it. And this is what you do. You handed it over on a plate to Ndombele.
Yeah. Dude, after watching that performance, I was thinking we had Phil Jones as a defender. Okay, he has scored some fuck all goals, own goals for our team, but he has never done something like this. Never. Very, very sabotaged, 3-4 goals, in one match. He has never done that. Of course, he had made mistakes throughout the game, but nothing this bad. Like no defender who have played for United has never ever performed this bad. No one. This was just horrible.
At this point, I think Smalling is miles better defender than Maguire.
But we sold him, right?
Or
But
anybody in our United defense.
But we sold him. I didn't want to sell him. They sold him, but they sold him. Shit. Fucking slabhead, dude.
I mean, like, there's only so much we can talk about that first goal, right?
Yeah.
It was just a complete comedy of errors.
Completely. So let's move on to the second goal.
Shambolic.
Let's move on to the second
goal.
Yeah.
That waste fellow. I like every time I think of Maguire, 80 million just flashes into my head.
Yeah.
And that just completely screws my head.
Yeah.
80 million, dude. 80 million. That's more than what we paid for Di Maria. That's probably more than what Liverpool paid for Salah and for Mane.
Yeah.
Combined.
Yeah.
My God. So this guy, he gives away the free kick.
Yeah.
And Kane, of all people, you should know how clever he is. What a clever jackass he is.
Yeah.
So like the basics of defending, which in the post-match analysis also they were discussing. Michael Owen was discussing this.
Yeah.
Like when you give away a free kick, okay, the first and foremost thing that you have to do is cover that area that you can expose it to, right? And just stay on the ball.
Or just plain and simple, just block the ball. Just block the ball or kick it out.
Exactly.
Plain and simple.
Or just throw the ball aside or something. Do something like that. Like that's the first step. That's probably the first chapter they teach you in like when you're defending a set piece or defending a free kick.
Yeah.
And Kane was clever enough. Kane, like Michael Owen was showing the visuals.
Yeah.
So Kane just took a second to notice Son's run.
Yeah.
Son understood, and at this point, Matic, who is covering it, Matic is pointing to Maguire, saying that see, he's making a run, like he can concede, he can take a quick free kick.
Yeah.
He's pointing to him. But Matic doesn't have legs to go back and cover this.
But still he ran.
So
but still
Maguire,
he ran. But still he ran.
Maguire slowly, Aram is taking his own sweet time going back.
Yeah.
And in that gap, he's put a sexy through ball.
Yeah.
And you obviously know the speed of Kane. You cannot catch. Son. I'm always getting confused between Kane and Son. You cannot catch Son. Son is just too quick for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like even Bai, who's one of the quickest defenders, he could not catch up to him. Bai was tracking him back. Bai couldn't keep up with the space. Went on and finished.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, like, does this guy require footage on Moser-based CDs to learn defending from? Do we have to come down to that?
Yeah.
Does Ole have to sit and take remedial classes for him?
Exactly.
I mean, he's the captain for Christ's sake, and he is on such high wages, and he calls himself the captain. At least lead from the example, lead from the front. Lead by example. Put some responsibility into it. Like you are letting Kane take Aram say his free kick, and you're not even going back.
Exactly.
I mean, like exactly what you said. Because of his performance alone, the entire defense screwed up.
Entirely. Because if I have to be honest, like Bai did look good like in the first 10 minutes, but because of him, Maguire, he had to go and cover Maguire's mistake too, which again in turn made him like
everybody. I think we're okay until we considered that red card.
Exactly. Like okay, so I think you nailed it on the head like with the second goal, but now let's move on to the red card incident that happened right after.
Dude, my
what
God.
the fuck was that? I don't get what is going on in Premier League right now with referees and rules and all VAR. What is going on right now in this year's Premier League?
I think United haven't renewed their VAR subscription or the referee subscription.
I think
they haven't Google paid the referees.
I was looking in the comments. A lot of all the comments were mentioning that the referees are racist for sending Martial away. It seems. I was like, I totally agree with that. The referee is a racist.
Clearly, I mean,
purely a racist.
Referees not giving decisions in favor of United is a rigged league. I mean, we need to boycott this Premier League because referees are not favoring United. Come on,
exactly.
Guys.
Yeah,
I think we need to more than Sancho. I think we need to appeal to Ed Woodward to renew the subscription of VAR and the referee fees.
Exactly.
Like, come on, Woodward. You know, you know the team is not good enough. You know
Yeah.
the tactics aren't good enough. So
And even
referees
you
can
are not
only
good
help.
enough. And even he's not good enough. So come on, man. What is wrong with you?
So at least do the bribing thing, like
Yeah.
bribe the 12th man, which is the
At least.
referee.
Yeah.
Come on, man. What is this?
Yeah.
First of all,
Because
if you're watching this, subscribe to our channel.
yeah, exactly. And also, like, we obviously cannot win the league fairly, especially when there are this kind of fuckheads, managing our club. So the best thing we do is
Oh
let's
yeah.
bend the law. Let's just bend the law, dude. Oh my God.
So getting back to the red card, man,
Oh.
what a disgraceful act by Lamela. Like, it was so disappointing seeing that, man. Like,
Yeah.
if you're giving a red card, if Martial deserved a red card, then the Lamela equally deserved a red card.
Exactly.
Because that was absolutely shameful what he did there.
Yeah. True.
I mean, and rightly pointed out by Michael Owen and Tim Sherwood, they said that this is not an example that you should be setting for people who are aspiring to be professional footballers.
Yeah.
Because today you see like the trend has been set by the likes of Neymar, Suarez, and all of these people. Like you nudge them on their hair on the arm, and they fall in and make a big scene out of it.
Yeah.
Like that's not the footballer that you should aspire to be. That's not football. That's play acting. That's drama. If you want to do drama, go to the theater. You'll have a bright future there.
And
A football pitch is not the place to do all of this shit.
And also, like, it wasn't even a red card offense. Like, obviously, whatever went on between Lamela and Martial, he could have used VAR and he could have just given 2 yellow cards to both of them.
Exactly. For all the shitty things you use VAR, this is the basic thing you should use VAR for.
Yeah.
I was surprised that the assistant referee didn't point this out. Like, didn't suggest it to the.
And also, after he gave the red card, Martial actually stopped near the touchline, waiting for them to go to VAR and to see what happened. They again didn't even use that. Like, obviously, the referees in the VAR booth actually saw it. They could have at least told the referee that this happened. Go towards the TV near the pitch side and look at the foul. So VAR was actually bought into football because they wanted to make the game more fairer. How is this making the game more fairer? I don't get it. Like, there are so many controversies with VAR, especially with the penalty situation that is going on with the Premier League, and now this happened. Like, why do you even have VAR then? Like, I don't get it, dude. It's just like,
exactly.
Like United.
Either it should have been 2 yellows or 2 red cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean, it was clearly there was fault on Martial. Martial shouldn't have reacted because it's absolutely stupid to react like that. Yeah. But my question is, had Martial reacted the way Lamela reacted when Lamela made contact on his face, would that have been a red card as well?
Yeah, true.
Like, it's unclear, right?
I would actually say that Lamela deserved more of a red card than Martial because he not only initiated the conflict but also reacted in that kind of way.
Yeah, bloody given 3 red cards in one single match itself.
And also, like, the only thing that I expect is at least the FA to look at that incident and to give a 4-5 match ban to Lamela. At least they have to at least do that.
Yeah.
Because this doesn't set an example.
For that? Can
United
appeal
they
for
can
that?
appeal for that for sure. They can appeal for that.
Then I think they should, because it was clearly unfair on Martial. I mean, surely Martial deserved some punishment.
You shouldn't react
like that. But
max
to max a yellow card, not a red card. If he deserved a red card, then clearly even Lamela deserved a red card.
Exactly.
That's all I'm going to say.
But my question to you is, do you think Jose would have been at least a little bit angry with what Lamela did, or do you think he would be happy with that?
I don't think so, because if you've seen the documentary,
exactly.
If you've seen the documentary, Jose clearly tells his player, and that was clearly visible, right? Like, if you look at the last couple of games, or the games Spurs have played in this season, right?
Yeah.
They have clearly adopted or sort of dwelled into that philosophy of Mourinho, where he says that you have to be bastards, you have to be the bad guys, you can't be nice guys anymore, right? You have to commit, you have to make fouls and all that stuff. Yeah. And I think that's exactly what Spurs were doing as well.
And also,
I don't really blame Mourinho for that, because that's a philosophy, that's a team philosophy. Yeah. And I'm sure United would have done the same thing if Ole had advised United to do as well.
And also, I don't know if a lot of people notice this, Mourinho, this is where Mourinho's dirty tricks come into play. Like, after Lamela did that, in the second half, he took Lamela off. Because he knew that if he let that guy on the pitch, United players would pakka target him. So he took him off. Like, especially we saw that short tackle, right? I think he tackled, I think Serge
Oh
Aurier
yeah,
or
yeah,
someone,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Oh, that was actually damn
That was a red
disheartening.
card
Like that
tackle
was not
actually.
required.
That was actually a red
That
card
was a
tackle.
clear red card. I was surprised he didn't get a red card for that.
Yeah, like even see,
I mean,
I
Luke
don't get it.
Shaw is just he doesn't have basic brain computing power,
Oh my God.
basic thinking, basic decision making power. He doesn't have. He doesn't know where to go. He plays in positions of centre back when he has to be a left back. I mean, we'll get to that.
No, that happened actually. That happened
This is why I
actually.
want a manager.
That
Yeah,
actually
go ahead, go ahead.
that happened actually after the red card, where Ole changed into 3-4. No, no.
It was 4-3-2.
4-3-2. Yeah.
After the red card was 4-3-2.
Yeah, 4-3-2. So
Yeah.
Shaw was playing in as a centre back, and actually I think Bai was pushed forward a little bit, I think.
Why? See, he was clearly supposed to start on left back.
Yeah.
Okay, and even after that, anyway, we'll get to that. So the third goal. Okay.
So the third goal.
The
okay,
third
the
goal.
third
My
goal.
God.
Oh my God.
Of all people, Eric Bai of all people. This is again the philosophy of Ole. Play from the back, right?
Yeah.
Play from the back.
Yeah.
So at least when there is a philosophy which says play from the back, that doesn't mean that you pass the ball into the D box when three of the Tottenham forward line, Son, Kane, Ed Dombele, who's a beast. When these three are pressing, you don't pass the ball to somebody in the D box. That's the basic of defending. That's the basic of clearing the ball.
But also, what I would say is, I would put a little bit of blame on De Gea as well, because De Gea, even though there are two fucktards in front of me, he should have at least made like a smart decision and should have just put the ball into their box. Like he should have at least like imagine if Dean Henderson was in goal, okay, he would have never passed the ball. He would have just kicked the ball upfield.
It's high time. It's high time Henderson starts.
Exactly.
I mean, you have to bench De Gea for at least like. I know he's been our best player for the last 3 or 4 years, but the last season and this season has been pathetic. De Gea has already conceded 11 goals.
Yeah, 11 goals. I think
it's just absolutely ridiculous.
It's high time for and Dean Henderson has actually played really well on all the games that he has started.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And also
the
that
EFL
incredible
Cup game and the
and also that incredible save that he pulled off against Luton.
Luton,
not Luton. Brighton game.
No, against Luton, he did an insane save.
Yeah.
He had an insane reaction save. And even against Brighton, there was an excellent save that he made.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
So I think it's high time because you can't have two first-team goalkeepers in your team.
Yeah.
It will be amazing. So stupid. United will regret it.
Which is again so stupid.
United will regret the fact that they're not playing Henderson.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think most of the wages are going to them.
Yeah.
A lot of wages is being split between De Gea and Henderson.
600k is only going for goalkeeper. 600k for 3 goalkeepers. 600k. Which is
Romero for the longest time has been probably the best second goalkeeper in the Premier League.
Yeah. Or even the first goalkeeper.
Doesn't get to play even one game.
Or even the best goalkeeper we have. Like even better than De Gea sometimes. Like I think this is going a little bit off topic from the match. Like after the transfer window ended, his wife actually stated on social media that Romero wanted to leave. Like he has given his blood, sweat, and tears for this club, and he wants to leave. But the people in the club are not letting him go and are not willing to find a club for him. Which is so sad to hear. Especially
he wanted to go to Everton.
Yeah,
he wanted to go to Everton, and I'm sure he would have done really well at Everton because Pickford is completely screwing up there.
For sure.
And his wife, like you mentioned, his wife is like at least show some basic respect.
Yeah.
Like show some respect for all he's done for the club, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Despite United always sidelining him, he's always had that respect for United. That's one reason I really like him.
Yeah.
He has never gone on record and saying that United has treated me like this, like that, and all that stuff. He's always showed that respect for United. He's had that respect for United. Anyway, getting back to the third goal. So, Bai of all people, in my opinion, I'm sure Dhanush also agrees with this. Bai clearly is the best defender in the entire team.
Yeah.
By a mile. Because he's an absolute beast. Sometimes he makes stupid decisions and lunges into players, which is kind of which you can keep aside. But otherwise, he's an excellent defender.
For sure.
But that pass of his yesterday just goes on to show the philosophy and the morale that our team, has been adopting. Yeah. Like you never, no matter, even if you're the shittiest defender, you never make a pass into the D box when 3 of the opposition players are pressing.
Exactly. Yeah.
After that, it was completely a shit show.
And I feel like
Son assisted and Kane scored.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where if there was a proper United captain, he would have taken control of the situation. He would have been like, guys, we just got a red card. Let's focus. let's not make stupid mistakes. Let's keep our composure, and let's try to play like what the coach says us to play. And he could have actually told them to not make such stupid mistakes, and he could have taken control of the team. And he didn't, like, even in the Martial incident, like when the incident happened and the referee came to give a red card, all the other United players were rushing towards the referee saying that, oh, it was a red card. And you could see Maguire like 10 feet away from all the incident that's going on, just standing and putting his hand on his waist. I'm like, dude, you're the captain of, if that incident happened, and if Roy Keane was the captain, he could have gone to the referee, and he would have just headbutted him, or maybe punched him in the face. Or Lamela.
Roy Keane would have kicked him in the nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
Roy Keane, for all we know, you would have kicked him in the nuts.
Exactly. I mean, we have seen Roy Keane has done that to many players in the past, right?
Dude, he said it in the interview.
Yeah.
If I have to take a red card for the team, I will go and happily do that. I will go and bloody break that person's leg if I have to do it for the team.
Yeah.
And that is the spirit. That is the true spirit of a captain.
Yeah. Do you remember
an absolute beast he was?
Do you remember what Keane did to Haaland's father when he was playing for Leeds? Yeah.
Of course.
That's what a captain does. That's what a captain does.
I don't think that guy ever played after.
That's it. His career was gone after that. His career was gone after that.
And the audacity, like even after breaking his leg, he went to him, he hurled abuses at him.
Yeah,
and he was crying for his leg.
Yeah.
He threw some abuses at him and he walked off like a boss.
Exactly.
He threw the captain's armband, walked off like a boss.
Yeah.
That's a true hitman. That's the mark of a true leader.
That's a proper assassin. He never forgets. Never forgets.
And Keane looks like that, like that proper hitman. He has a mark on his head and all.
Exactly.
When he goes bald, like proper Gajini villain he looks.
I think in one of the comments there was some guy who mentioned that if Keane didn't play for football, he would have definitely become a soldier, it seems. Definitely.
Of course.
For sure.
I mean, no doubt. Dude, even Alex Ferguson was scared of him. He's mentioned this in his book. Yeah. Sir Alex Ferguson has mentioned in this book that he was scared of Roy Keane.
Yeah.
You can imagine the impact that he had on the dressing room.
And look at the captain we have now, who doesn't even like give a two shit about the team, what's happening. He just stands there with his hands on his hips, looking at like how we look at when other people who play football, or like in the playground near our house.
He creates chances for the other team.
Exactly.
He makes key passes for the other team.
Oh my God.
What a great stat to be proud of.
Oh,
what a ridiculous piece of
that
shit.
Third goal was ridiculous. Then after that, the fourth goal.
Again. Oh my God, fourth goal. Sergio Aurier has acres of space. Luke Shaw, Luke Shaw, I don't know what he's doing. He is in the center of the pitch, marking somebody else. Okay.
Oh God.
So Kane gets the ball in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah.
When Kane actually draws, who was on the right back? Who was on the right back? Wan-Bissaka. Correct. So he draws Wan-Bissaka out of position. Okay. He makes a turn.
Yeah.
He gives a beautiful pass to Aurier.
Yeah.
And nobody is marking Aurier when Shaw is supposed to mark him. Yeah. Nobody. There is acres of space.
Yeah.
Like he could have set up a tent and camped over there. So much of space. I get it. We were a man down. Yeah. But even after the halftime, even before the halftime, when you're conceding, when you're a man down, you have to overload your defense. Yeah. So 4-man defense is a must. Okay. And
4 or even 5.
Of them are the
4 or even 5.
Yeah, 4 or 5, depending on how badly you're playing.
Yeah.
And even then, 3 of them are in front of De Gea. I don't know, for God knows doing what.
Yeah.
So Aurier, aram se he's coming. He's doing skills and all.
And even Son is unmarked. Even Son is unmarked.
Son, no. So apparently, no. When Aurier cuts to the right,
yeah,
and he's about to make that pass, Maguire, he goes to defend him. Okay?
Exactly. Yeah.
Goes to defend him, and he's pointing to Kane.
Yeah.
Kane, who's just on the adjacent line to Aurier.
Yeah.
So Luke Shaw doesn't know there is the possibility of Son running in because space is open if he leaves. He leaves. He goes to Kane. Pogba is just watching. Son gets into space. Pass. Yeah. Goal.
Yeah. And again, their Bai was the one who was trying to cover their ass again, trying to rush in towards Son, but he didn't get him again. Yeah. Just like the second goal.
And that pass that he made, it went between Maguire's legs,
Yeah.
and Son scored between De Gea's legs.
They has like, oh my God, dude.
Like it was just
it's
this is proper FIFA like FIFA 21 or FIFA.
dude, it was like watching a guy who is playing FIFA like with an AI difficulty between world class and an amateur playing FIFA at world class. It was that bad. Like it's so comically bad that it's not even funny. Like back then, even United played bad. Like we would used to laugh and say that and all that. But now it's not. It's not even that funny. Like that's how bad. This was the worst. Like do you remember Ole's game between Everton where we lost 4-0 at Goodison Park? That was a horrible game. Like towards
When
the
was this?
last year, towards the last end of the, I mean, not in the last season, but before that, towards the last, I think it was the last second game or third game where we lost 4-0 against Everton at Goodison Park.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't remember
When
that?
was this? I don't remember
This was in the
a game like
18-19 season. We lost
okay, I
4-0
don't
in the
remember. I don't
Goodison
remember.
Park. That was one of the worst performances that I've seen United play. But this eclipses everything else. Everything else. Like I don't think United played this bad with any other manager. Any other manager.
Well, United when Ferguson was managing, United lost 6-1 to City
Yeah,
in that
exactly.
2011 season
No,
or something.
I get that. But back then, even though we lost 6-1 against City, we were like
Yeah,
3-1.
we finished second.
Yeah, no,
We finished second in the table.
Yeah, we were 3-1 up, but the reason why we lost 6-1 is because the team were actually trying to attack and score goals. That didn't happen, so they scored
Correct.
more goals. And also,
Exactly.
it's Sir Alex Ferguson. You can give him a pass. Like, you know that he'll come back the next day and he will, like,
And
forget about all that.
exactly. And you should see the reaction that Ferguson had on that game post 6-1 and compare that to the reaction Ole had. Ole is smiling.
He's
Ole is
high-fiving
like,
the
hey,
players, dude. He's high-fiving the opposition players.
he's chilling. He's chilling with Lloris and all. He is putting his arm around Lloris. He's like,
Dude,
hey, what's
they
up in
belted you
France? How's the weather in
6-1.
France and all?
They belted you 6 goals. You're going and high-fiving, laughing at other players. What is wrong with the manager, dude? That was.
And
God.
I heard this on another podcast. So, like if this is the attitude of your manager, okay,
Yeah.
how can you even go to other clubs? Like when you're recruiting other players, how can you go to top clubs and entice players into this club?
Exactly.
Like if this is the attitude of the manager who doesn't care about a lot, who's smiling after a game and all,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm sure Ole is the legend of the club and all that
Coming
stuff.
coming to the manager.
With what points do you go?
Coming to the manager, okay. Coming to the manager, we'll move on, but we'll, of course, I have so many things to talk about Ole, but I think this will actually speak a lot of things about Ole, okay. Like after that fourth goal happened, we went to halftime, right? And then halftime happened, the substitution that Ole made for halftime, Fred and McTominay for Matic and Bruno Fernandes. Why Bruno? Why did he take off Bruno Fernandes? So there are rumors. I know this rumor.
I hope it is true. I really hope it is true.
So the rumor, so the people who don't know what the rumor is, so the rumor is actually when United finished the first half and they went into the dressing room, Bruno had a fight with Harry Maguire. And he blamed him and also like maybe had a quarrel with him, saying that, because like they considered 3 goals and it was his fault. And so there was a big fight, it seems. So that's why Ole substituted Bruno. Matic would have come off obviously because obviously you need legs to defend and all that.
Correct.
So he would have put in Fred. But the reason why Bruno was substituted in the second half was because of the fight, supposedly rumored fight that happened in the dressing room between him and Maguire. So that is the reason. And also, I don't think we saw him on the bench, right? We didn't see Bruno Fernandes on the bench.
No, I think it sounds
so
good to be true, right?
It sounds true. True because
apparently Bruno insulted Maguire very badly and went to the extent of saying that you don't deserve to play for the shirt.
Exactly.
Like things like that. I mean, it's rumored that he said things like that, which is completely justified.
Yeah, exactly. Because if they didn't have a fight, if they didn't have a fight, even if you made a substitution, you would have come back to the. You would have come back and sat with the manager and with the squad, right?
Apparently it got so bad, like Ole had to, not ask him to sit with Martial and watch the game in the dressing room and not come to the bench. So it was just damn sad.
Like this just shows like what kind of manager Ole is. Like obviously Maguire made some mistakes. Instead of what he could have done in the situation is he could have kept Bruno on the field and he could have just substituted Maguire for some other defender to show him that you did a mistake and this is your punishment for it. You'd have to learn from it. So become a better defender.
But then, who will you bring in place of Maguire? Lindelof is the next best option.
Dude, we
I
still
mean,
considered so many goals. It doesn't matter. Just get that guy. What if he pulls by out of the way to clear another goal and we consider another goal? Who knows?
I mean,
Oh God! Like this just shows the
then Sir
ineptitude
Alex
of the
Ferguson
manager
will
we
have to
have.
come and play.
Exactly. Like this just shows the ineptitude of the manager that we have. He's clearly
Yeah,
not good enough.
exactly. See, I'm like as much as criticism this guy Maguire deserves.
Yeah.
You know, though I think the entire team was absolute shit.
Entire team.
If you look
entire
at
team.
Pogba, if you look at Martial, Martial was okay until he earned that red card.
Okay.
If you look at Rashford, I think Greenwood was the only person who was a little positive. Like he took like 3 or 4 shots on target.
And he also made some good 2-3 good
stuff.
dribbles as well. He actually made 2-3 good dribbles as well.
Except him, I think the whole team was absolute fuck all.
So now I think for the 5th goal, I'll let you rip on Pogba. Go ahead. Go on with the 5th goal.
Oh God, Pogba, dude.
That penalty.
This is the main reason. This is the main reason Mourinho had issues with Pogba, if you remember.
Yeah.
Because Mourinho always used to bench him because of his attitude.
Yeah.
He doesn't track back players.
Yeah.
I get you're an attacking midfielder, but you can't expect when you're being paired with Matic and who was the other midfielder?
Bruno.
Yeah, Matic. No. Bruno is the number 10 guy. Yeah. So Pogba plays behind him. So, like, when you're paired with Matic, you can't expect Matic to run for you and, cover the ground for you and hold the ball for you. You have to do some of the dirty work.
He's not disciplined.
You have to do some of the dirty work. Like, he is Aramse standing, okay? Yeah. And Højbjerg, man, what a sexy game he had. Yeah. For 15 million, you're getting gems like these. Yeah. What a peach of a pass it was. Like, no blaming that. It was a great pass. But Pogba was completely blinded on his side.
Exactly.
He didn't even know there was a person running beside him.
Yeah.
No marking. This is one reason why Mourinho never Mourinho was not a fan of him. Yeah. Like Mourinho understood he's like the Dele Alli of the Man United team.
Yeah.
No,
who doesn't
very lazy.
Track back. Yeah.
So, like he's so sloppy sometimes in the midfield. I get it. He's a world class midfielder, no doubt. He's got insane potential.
Going forward.
He can go on to become the prop. Yeah, he can be a better central midfielder than Thiago.
Yeah.
At the moment, he has that potential. He's always had that potential going forward. He has the ability to pick up some insane passes.
Yeah.
He does some mad skills, but that's about it. No positional sense whatsoever, man.
Yeah.
Alongside having a good passing range and all of that stuff, the mark of a good midfielder is your positional sense as well.
Yeah.
You need to know how to find spaces which is why Van de Beek should start.
Yeah.
And Dhanush and I, we have been saying this since the beginning of the podcast. Exactly. Van de Beek should start. Yeah. I will be very surprised if Pogba starts in the next game and Van de Beek doesn't start.
We'll get on to that. But speaking a little bit about Pogba, like the one of the main thing that Pogba lacks is the discipline. A midfielder should have the discipline to make sure that even if he goes forward, he has the discipline to come back and stay in that position so that no one takes over him in that position. Which Pogba like every single time that you see, he plays more like Ronaldo or a Messi, like where they try to like free up their own space and try to go forward. When you are a midfielder, you can't have that luxury, especially if you are a midfielder who's dropping back. You have to stick to the rules of the game where you have to track back whenever a player of the opposition team is trying to make a run at your goal, and he just doesn't have that discipline.
At least track back, do some basic, defensive response. When you know your midfield partners are very bad, like they don't have the legs to cover as much as you do. Yeah. You at least take the responsibility. And Pogba is captain material, right? Yeah. He showed that leadership skills. Like stick to that, enforce those responsibilities. Motivate the players to track back, to put in their heart out and perform. Yeah. Nothing is doing. I mean, don't get us wrong. We love Pogba. Yeah. In my opinion, Pogba, aside besides Bruno, Pogba is the best player in the team.
Yeah.
And for obvious reasons, but sometimes his attitude just pisses me off, man. Completely pisses me off.
Also Pogba, I think he has to sign a new contract for United. I don't want him to sign a contract for United. I want him to.
I think it's better for him and the club if he leaves.
Yeah. And also he should be the one who should be asking the club to leave, because the club doesn't have any ambition to win the title. So if you're a player like Pogba, you need to be asking the club and your agent to let me go. Because like clearly, like that shows a mark of a player who is motivated to play football. But if he accepts a new
Yeah.
contract at United, that means he's just playing for money. That's it.
I mean, you're getting paid a very handsome
Yeah.
wage, right? You have a very extravagant lifestyle. You have got great friends in Lingard and all, Rashford and all those stuff. And he's settled well in England, so I don't see him leaving for any other club. Of course, he did at one point want to go to Real Madrid, but that fell through.
Yeah.
That deal didn't happen. But I think he's happy.
By the way,
because
what about
he
that?
was not unhappy with one second. He was not unhappy with Mourinho because Mourinho didn't give him the freedom to play as he wanted.
Yeah.
And Ole is doing that. And to some extent, he did improve under Ole as well. But you need to stick to your responsibility. Like, play to your position, right? Play to your strengths. You're not doing that also.
But like I mentioned,
Sorry, you were saying something.
Yeah, like I mentioned, because of Harry Maguire, it felt like a domino effect. Like, everyone were worse because of the defensive unit, which was so bad. Because of that, it affected the midfield. The midfield affected the offense. The entire team collapsed. Like, obviously, like there is a saying, right? Like, with strikers, you win, you get goals, but because of your defenders, you win titles. That is how the saying goes, right?
Exactly.
And that is true.
Exactly.
Yeah. So because of Maguire, that affected everything.
Exactly. Yeah. So Maguire, like if you look at last season, if you look at the football after.
By the way, just a second. Before you talk about different players, let's just finish up with the last goal. That is the sixth goal. We were talking about Pogba, right? We'll finish that off.
So again Pogba.
Yeah. That slide tackle. I don't even know if that was a tackle.
He threw his entire body.
That felt like a dance move you see on the street, like all this step up three. You see those movies, right? When they do dance on the water and all that. He was like, "Hey, yo, I'm coming in. Okay, let's go." And he just let
it was like one of those rides you take in amusement park in Wonderla.
Exactly.
Like go and slide into the dance floor, into the water dance floor like that. Hey,
oh my God, that was such a
the moment he did that, the moment he fell on the ground, I knew.
Yeah.
I knew this was going to be a penalty.
For sure.
Because Kane is obviously going to be make the most of it. And deservedly he converted.
If there was any other player, it would have been a penalty. That challenge was so late. Like a player would have, the moment he fell down onto the ground, he would have seen that, now I'll get a pakka penalty for sure. I can just dink the ball over him and I'll get a penalty for sure.
Pogba.
Oh my God.
Pogba needs to man up and at least do some dirty work, man.
Yeah, but now we are talking a lot about United, but let's acknowledge how good Spurs were, especially Kane. How good were they?
Of course.
Especially Kane.
They were pretty good. But I think we could have see most of the goals. I think at least 3 or 4 of the goals were individual errors.
Yeah.
Which could have been avoided if not for the howlers we had committed.
Exactly.
But otherwise, Spurs did play well. What else can you say? Mourinho's big. I was surprised that Mourinho didn't ask his players to park the bus after the first 2 goals because the Mourinho we know, like that's what he does best, right? He parks the bus and he just sits back and sits deep with all the players.
But I think
they were hungry enough to go to attack as much as they could. And Son, man, again Son. I benched him in my FPL team, dude.
Same.
I had the worst week. I had the worst FPL team. FPL week. I benched him. He got me 15 points and he was not in my main squad.
I feel like a lot of people had their worst week this week. Worst for sure.
Dude, the average FPL score for this week was 48. I scored 27 points and I took a -4 hit.
Really?
I was so depressed. I was actually outside. When the United's game was happening, I was at a friend's place attending a party. So I was just checking the updates on the phone. I was not watching the match. When I got back home, I knew the match was over at 6-1. And then we were messaging and I got plenty of messages from my other friends who were supporting other clubs. And it was so embarrassing to even open the chat.
Oh my God.
I got messages from at least 3 or 4 friends who just wanted to troll me.
Was there a Liverpool fan in that?
Yeah, of course. There was a Liverpool fan. There was a Chelsea fan.
And what happened to that Liverpool fan after that?
Oh man, no, we are very good friends, so we had that sympathy for each other.
Nice. Shoulder to cry on. Nice.
So I came back home and I didn't even know if I wanted to go and watch the highlight, but I did want to watch the entire match. So I went to Hotstar. I saw the entire match, And after that, I saw the entire Liverpool match. So 4 hours of football the next day I did.
Oh,
Man,
so bad, dude. Like
like
I don't think for
what can you do?
for Liverpool. I mean, let's just touch a little bit, but then we'll come back to United
No.
game.
One
Yeah,
second. Before we move to the Liverpool game, of course we
yeah,
have to cover the other games as well.
yeah,
Before we, like if you watch the post-match analysis, I mean the program
yeah,
which was covered by Owen and Tim Shepard,
yeah.
there was a very good point made. I know we haven't made any major signings right this season, and we have a decent team. Like they were showing an analysis of
Oh,
all the values of all the squad members we have.
I have so much to say about
We had
that, but we'll talk about in the next podcast. So, guys, stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
The
But
transfer window.
see, when you have a decent team,
Yeah,
right? When you have a decent team, look at somebody like Bielsa. His team is absolute average.
I
There are no
know,
world-class players in the
I
team.
know.
He gets the best out of those. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know what happens to them under Bielsa. They play their best football.
yeah,
At least do half of what he is doing, right?
yeah.
Like you have world-class players at your disposal, and you can see that's one reason why we should never hire strikers who's played as strikers in their careers as managers,
Yeah.
because strikers are not good managers
And you could say that
historically. It's
you
always
could
the defenders and midfielders
and
who are good
you
managers.
could say that even our reserves and substitute team is actually much better than the Leeds team as well.
Dude, Mata was
Yeah,
on the bench, right?
yeah,
Mata was bought for 40 million.
yeah,
Okay, Van de Beek is bought for 40 million.
yeah,
And who else? Lindelof is bought for 50, some 35, 50, 35, 40 million.
yeah,
Henderson is a youth product.
yeah.
We have
But it's
some
good.
several good youth products as well.
But it's good.
But like you look at the defense, Bai is bought for some crazy 30 million.
Yeah. Marcus
Maguire is
Rojo.
bought for 80 million.
Rojo.
Rojo is again bought for some 25, 30 million. So
Yeah.
you have a decent squad. Like the board also, you can't blame everything on the board. The
Yeah.
board gives you the money.
Yeah.
After that, it's up to the manager and the sports time team and the analyst team, whatever it is. You have to develop the players. You have to develop a team. You have to bring the best of the players. If you can't do that, then
Yeah.
fucking what audacity is that you ask him, I want Sancho and all, if you can't improve the team with all the players we have.
Like I would blame what is going on with United. Like 80% of the blame goes to the Glazers and Woodward, and 20% with the manager. Because like even with the Maguire signing wasn't a Ole Gunnar Solskjaer signing. It was a Ed Woodward signing. Van Bissaka was a
Yeah.
Solskjaer signing. The Maguire one, we never wanted Maguire. Woodward wanted an English player. We never asked for an
Maguire
English
was
player.
totally unnecessary. That
Yeah.
was a horrible decision.
We wanted a center back, but Ole never said that I want Harry Maguire. Ed Woodward was the one who said that, oh, he's an English player, oh, he's a good player, oh, let's get him. But I think I
Yeah.
was watching this video. I think this was like a year ago. I think Paul Merson, right? Ex-Arsenal player, who's a pundit.
No.
So when I think this was in the middle of the 2018-19 season, where we were kind of playing like shit. Okay, so he actually gave an analysis about why did United buy Harry Maguire. So he mentioned he actually mentioned that why did United buy Harry Maguire? It doesn't make any sense, because when you look at Harry Maguire for Leicester, he used to play in a team where it used to drop back, and it never used to like put the defensive line like near the touchline. I know, not the touchline, like in the middle of the park, right?
Half line.
Halfway line, right? They used to always they used to always fall back and let the attackers like go on a run. Like they would put in a long ball, and then the Vardy would make a run and go score a
Yeah.
goal, right? That's how the team became
Correct.
famous,
That's
right? Yeah. So
yeah.
obviously in this United team or any of the top 6 or top 4 team, obviously like the defensive line would be pushed forward so that they can press the other team and they can go and score goals, and the defensive team will start to play from the back. Maguire is, I mean, for you to play like that, you need defenders who are fast, or at least somewhat of
Correct.
considerable pace. Maguire is not that
Yeah.
kind of a guy. He may be good on the ball, but his main strength is heading the ball out, and that is especially useful when you play your defensive unit like in the near your own box, because whenever a ball comes in, even if a long ball comes in, you can just the defender can head it out. That's what Maguire does best.
Correct.
But with this system that
Correct.
any of the top 4 team has, where you play the defensive line near the halfway line, Maguire is the worst player to play in that kind of defensive line. So that's actually a very important point that he pointed out, and that actually did make sense, like in the
Right.
Spurs game, like it showed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. I mean, like if in Maguire's defense, if you look at last season,
Yeah.
like post the lockdown and all this stuff, we have been very good defensively, right?
Yeah.
So Maguire was actually pretty good.
But there
I
were
mean,
still cracks.
one of the
There were
strengths.
still some errors.
Yeah, correct, exactly. Like
Yeah.
I mean, even Van Dijk has cracks. Like
Yeah.
it's clearly visible in the team that he was playing now.
Yeah.
So like Maguire is pretty good with passing. His passing range is actually pretty good.
Yeah,
But
it's pretty good.
yesterday he was coming and playing in the place of what's his face, Pogba.
Yeah.
And Pogba is dropping back, and there is a switch of that, and many misplaced passes and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Maguire has been okay, like has been good last season and all that stuff, but not worth 80 million,
For
right?
sure.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know, like if you're paying 75 million for Van Dijk and you're getting so much in return, we at least expect. We at least expect the same level of quality, if not better, when we are paying 80 million for someone.
Dude, I think
It's
that
just
80...
it's that pure English chauvinism. It's that pure English bias. Because
Dude,
of that, he's overrated, and
I
because
think
of
I think
hence
that
the price.
80 million is. I think the reason why we paid 80 million is all because of Ed Woodward and the board who made that negotiation. Because I don't think if any other team came for Harry Maguire, I don't think they would have paid anything more than 50 million. Just like for how Ben Chilwell was. Came to the transfer between Ben Chilwell and Chelsea happened. I think it's because of the ineptitude of the board, the reason why we paid 80 million. I don't think we would have, any team would have paid more than 50 million for him. And even Leicester would have accepted 50 million. But they knew that, these dickheads, they don't know how to make transfers.
That's the respect United gets, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
when a club finds out that United is interested in a player of our club, they've already planned in their head, let's quote 30 or 35 million extra than what this player is currently valued at. Exactly. And they eventually get that price, which is just absolutely so sad.
I read an article. I read an article, athletic article, where a journalist, like an unnamed journalist, mentioned that the way that they do transfer is Ole gives the list of players to Ed Woodward, and what Ed does is Ed actually tells Matt Church to go and go with the recruitment and all that. Matt Church then actually responds to Ed Woodward. Edward goes back to Joel Glazer. Joel Glazer again goes and talks about it with his the board member, the fellow Glazer family members. And again, Joel Glazer goes back to Ed to talk about it, and then Ed goes back and tells Matt Church to do whether to do the transfer or not. That's how the transfer process goes in our club, and that is the reason why we take such a long time to make transfers. Because
that's the board, why maybe we didn't sign Sancho as well.
The board has so much of control with the transfer decision, and everything related to the United club matters.
Which again, time and again shows why we need a sporting director.
Yeah. And
to cut all this bullshit from
and I've learned so many information about how United make their transfer business and all that, which I'll talk about in the podcast, in the next episode, where we are going to talk about the entire transfer that went on with not just with United, with all the other teams as well. So I'll talk about it, and I'm telling you, it's so shocking the way that they transfers. Okay, but coming back to what happened during the match day. In the next match, okay, before talking about the next match that United might play. What do you think about Ole? Like, what were his errors?
So United have a very tough run of fixtures. We are playing Chelsea. We are playing in the Premier League. We are playing Leipzig, PSG. And I think we are playing PSG also this month.
And Arsenal also.
So if we don't perform in all of these games, I am definitely seeing the end of Ole's career.
For sure. And he's not good enough.
Rumors are that United have already made contacts with Pochettino.
Yeah.
Have approached Pochettino.
Yeah. Some people are saying that Ed is he has kind of put Pochettino on a retainer, so that that is the reason why Poch hasn't accepted any other club. So because he already has a non-verbal contract with Ed Woodward. I don't know if that is true, but there are some rumors like that. But I'm telling you. Ole, I think one of the most frustrating thing about Ole is he hasn't spoken against the Glazers. And I've heard that some people say that it's actually kind of good that he hasn't spoken anything about the Glazers or Ed Woodward, because he would never get a job like this in any other club, because everyone knows that he's not that good of a manager. And just because he's a legend of the club, he has gotten this club. And also that small patch of good run that he has had. That is the reason why he got this club. But if you think about it, so let's take the United team. So let's break it down. About how qualified or how good Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is as a manager. Let's talk about goalkeeper. We have Dean Anderson and we have De Gea. two of the best. I mean, De Gea is like his form is pretty bad, but two of them are like one
But
is
surely,
one
but
is
even today, probably one of the best goalkeepers in the world.
exactly. Today, still probably one of the best goalkeeper in the world, and Dean Henderson, one of the most best up and coming goalkeeper in the world, could probably become one of the best goalkeeper in the world. Now let's talk about defensive line. Van Bissaka defensively second to none. Second to none defensively.
Beast. Absolute beast.
Forward, going forward, he needs the right bit of coaching.
Worst, exact opposite. No,
exactly.
Worst is the word. He's so bad. He's piss poor.
Yeah, but we have seen certain certain moments where he can go forward and he can put in crosses, but he needs coaching because we know that Van Bissaka he started off as a winger, then he transitioned to become a fullback. So, but he has some kind of flair in him where he can, but he needs the right amount of coaching and also time to go there.
The right coach can always get the best out of you.
Exactly. And now let's look at the left fullback. Now Alex Telles has come in, which is again amazing. He's one of the best fullback left back in the world. And also Luke Shaw is pretty good in his day, but defensively again he needs work. And again, good coaching will get the best out of him. When it comes to
I honestly feel it's time that you get rid of Luke Shaw.
Okay,
because of his injury record as well. He's not that Southampton wala Luke Shaw that we bought for.
Exactly.
That we bought.
Yeah, that one injury kind of like downtracked his entire career. That one injury. Yeah. So let's take out Luke Shaw. Let's put Alex Telles there. So left fullbacks are pretty good. Okay. Now let's look at the defensive unit. That is Bai. Bai is pretty good. You just need to tell him that don't go and do stupid challenges. That's it. But he's pretty good.
And Bai also has a sordid injury record as well.
Yeah, so but if you keep him fit, he is good. He's pretty good. That is not a problem.
Honest, he's better than all the United defense.
Exactly.
All the centre backs.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So and also if he plays consistently for a pretty long time, for like 6 months or so, he could even become like the top 5 best defenders in the Premier League. He's that good actually. He just needs to stay injury free. That's it. Okay. So and Maguire, when it comes to Maguire, if someone like Roy Keane comes and slaps him in the head and tells him to do his job properly, he could also become a good defender. Not a great defender, but a good defender who can go along with complement Bai as well. But I still think Bai is the best defender that we have. But anyway, so this is the defensive line.
Hands down.
Yeah, so this is the defensive line. Now let's move. So let's let the formation be 4-3-3. Okay. So now let's move on to the midfield where instead of Matic, let's put on Fred. Fred is pretty good. He just needs a consistent game where he can like properly play repetitive games to make himself good. So Fred is pretty good, right? So we both can agree with that, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's much better than McTominay and Matic. Matic, like if you like the range of passing, the vision, and all of that, he's pretty good. Yeah, but he just doesn't have the legs, so we can eliminate him out.
Yeah,
so Fred is the next best option. I'm not a big fan of Fred, but Fred is the next best option.
Yeah, maybe if the right coach comes in, maybe they can even implement that as well. Maybe look out for certain players. Make this runs and all that. So Fred as a defensive midfielder, and for the two attackers, Bruno of course. But with the form that Pogba is going right now, Pogba with the right manager could become the Pogba that we know, like everyone talks about, like the one of the best attacking midfielders. But even if you don't want Pogba, like of course, if you have Pogba, you need to put him in the field if he's playing well. Or otherwise, we have Pogba or Van de Beek. We can put in whoever you want to. Okay. So obviously, one of the midfield is pretty stacked that we have. And when it comes to attacking, on the left we have Marcus Rashford, and in the center we have Martial. And on the right, if you want to put Greenwood, or if you want to put Daniel James. When you look at that team
sheet, we have Cavani. Yeah. Now we have Cavani. So Cavani will play as the number 9 striker. Martial might move to the left. Or Rashford might move to the right.
Or they can interchange.
I don't think Greenwood will get a lot of game time. I don't think Greenwood will get
also, you can think about like Greenwood as a substitute striker that we have, who can come off the bench.
I think the better formation would be, and this probably works in United's favor as well. The better formation would be 4-2-3-1.
Yeah,
right.
That could be good too. So, for sure.
That's a better formation in my opinion. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
So when you look at that team sheet and we look at the type of players that we have, that is clearly a top four team and even a top 3, top 2 team. For sure, with the right manager.
Any day.
With the if a right manager like Pochettino, Nagelsmann, Klopp, Guardiola, any of these managers, if they take charge of this team, it's easily a top 4 team, top 3 team. It's just that the right coaching, right people, right man management has to be in the club. And clearly we see that. I mean, no manager will go to the club and say, I want Jadon Sancho, I want Mbappe, I want Neymar, give me that, give me this. You don't get that. You need to do whatever you have. That shows the mark of a true manager. I mean, look at Bielsa. Like he's challenging with Klopp. I mean, look at the match that happened with Klopp, Man City versus Leeds.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, look
But
at
another
Bielsa.
example I want to give you.
Yeah, with
Another
the right
example I
coaching.
want to give you.
Yeah.
Correct. So if you look at Real Madrid, right?
Yeah.
And the manager Zidane.
Yeah.
Zidane, just like Ole, he's not great with tactics.
Yeah,
like he doesn't. There is no tactics involved.
Yeah.
But he's a fantastic manager.
Yeah.
The reason why I'll tell you, they haven't made any big name signings. They haven't made any signings. I feel this time because they are under severe debt because of the funding that they are doing for the renovation of the stadium and all that stuff. So they haven't bought much players. But Zidane has clearly told out that I'm very happy with the team I have.
Yeah.
And I'm going to improve them. And he has improved them. Because if you look at their last season, goals have come from all the 22 players in the squad.
Yeah.
All the 22 players.
Yeah.
That's how he's improved the team. With the team that he's had, he's not cribbed to the board. He's not cried to the board saying, I want more players and all that stuff. Every single player in the squad has gone on to score.
Exactly.
That just goes on to show that if you're a good manager, you can always get the best out of the team.
Yeah.
Which Ole is not doing.
Yeah. And also like the best
and
example
exactly
is
what he
Bielsa.
said. Clearly
like
what
the
he said.
best example is Bielsa. I mean, look at that. Like with that team, you could probably say that that's like, with any kind of manager, with an average manager, that the best that you could get is like top 10 or top 15 or something like that. But with Bielsa, with a world-class manager, that guy is actually challenging for top 6 with that team. And they don't have any big names except for Kevin Phillips, who you could say that could go into any of the top 4 teams.
Calvin Phillips.
Calvin Phillips. He could go into any of the top 4 teams and he would actually play really well in any of the top 4 teams.
Yeah,
but
he's a sensational midfielder. He's an amazing
and also their goalkeeper also she's showing pretty good promise.
Oh, he's damn good, dude.
Yeah.
He's a kid.
Yeah, I know.
He's an absolute kid, but he's an excellent goalkeeper.
But other than that, there is no other player any of the top 4, top 5, top 6 teams would want. But look at Bielsa with a proper system, with a proper coaching, he's getting so much better with that team. So getting so much improvement from those individual players. I mean, look at Bamford, dude.
Exactly.
No one expected anything from Bamford, and he's scoring goals in every single. Yeah, Bamford. He's scoring goals in every single game up until now, except for the last one.
We'll talk about the Leeds and City game. So I think we've enough about United because this podcast will just go really back if we continue talking about it.
Lastly, what do you think? Ole in or out?
I don't know, man. It's the United sentiment again. I don't know. Let's see. I want to give him another chance because the sole reason because he at least he's got United to the 3rd position in the last season. Right, and obviously any manager will have dead run and all that stuff, a bad run, and I think this is just one of those runs, and hopefully we can bounce back because we always have bounce back.
You know what's my theory with that?
My
theory with that? You know why we played so well in the last season? It's just like the thing what happened with Ole when he was appointed. Like before Mourinho. Before Mourinho, when Mourinho left, that toxic environment around United was lifted off. Everyone were rejuvenated, and a new manager, especially a United legend, came into the club. So everyone wanted to play their best, So that's why they performed so well. And then that went down. That high went down, and he played so well. There was no tactics, no nothing. And then Bruno Fernandes again came into the club, did the same thing.
When you have high paid individuals, probably the highest paid individuals in a dressing room.
Yeah.
The ego is flying all around the corner, and it's very difficult to contain all of that and motivate all of them equally, and drive them towards one goal, a collective goal. Yeah. Right, and I don't think Ole is the man for that. You need to have a very strict manager, somebody who can smash your head against the wall when you commit mistakes. Like Roy Keane or Diego Simeone or Klopp. These guys are excellent leaders, right?
Yeah.
So, but having said that, I think we can maybe give another month or 2 because, like I said earlier, we have a run of very tough fixtures. We have a line of very tough fixtures. If United poops or shits in all of those games, definitely Ole out. And Pochettino is a world-class manager. He's proven that. Hopefully we can get Pochettino.
For me, I think it's all out because right now the United fan base is so divided that, there are people who are saying Ole out because obviously he's not good to become a top class manager. And there are other people who are saying that they know that Ole is not good enough, but they don't want him out because it's the same cycle, getting rid of the manager, getting another manager again. I get that. Okay. But with the team that we have right now, we can clearly go for the top 2, top 3, especially with the teams how they're performing right now in the new season, the top teams.
For sure.
So I feel like if a new manager comes in,
on the table.
Yeah,
we are 16th on the table.
I know. Dude, it's
Worst,
ridiculous.
worst.
It's ridiculous. Oh my God. But by the way, what changes do you expect in the next Newcastle match? What
Uh,
Ole needs to make
I
changes?
definitely want to see, like, even if Pogba starts, I definitely want to see Van de Beek starting alongside him.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
can't afford to
You
see
mean so? You
anyone.
mean
And
him taking off Bruno Fernandes because there
no, Bruno has to play. No, no, no. I think he'll stick to his 4-2-3-1 formation, and in
but
that three,
yeah, but Bruno can't play defensive.
maybe no, no, no. So here's my potential team. Okay, so four. I don't see him. I don't see him replacing Maguire because we don't have any other option.
But at
Lindelof is
least,
definitely not the option for
but I at least
Maguire.
want him to take the captaincy from him. At least I want to do him. At least I
Yeah,
want to see that. Yeah,
Bruno is the captain material. I'm telling
yeah,
you
yeah.
because I feel only Bruno is upset because of the shoddy performance that
Exactly,
United is having. Nobody
exactly.
else is concerned.
Yeah,
Nobody else is giving a fuck about it.
yeah,
Bruno is clearly upset with the way United is playing. We can
yeah,
play. He knows United can play so much better, and that's the reason
yeah.
he is doing all of this,
And
picking up fights and
also,
all that stuff.
and also, he's the best player of our team. He can lead by example. He can show the other
For
players,
sure, for sure.
I'm playing this good. Get your ass in gear and play for the team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So here's
yeah,
my team, and I feel it's time to test Henderson in the Premier League
for sure.
because he's been exceptional. He was amazing with Sheffield United last season.
Yeah.
So it's high time we bench De Gea for a few games. Let's see how Henderson performs. So Henderson on goal,
But imagine, dude,
left back Alex
350,
Telles.
350K keeper. We are benching on the team.
No, like you need to tell that we are taking the football and we are taking the team seriously.
Yeah. No,
Like
I
if you
know.
are not performing, if
Yeah.
you're not performing, then it's like this is the message that we are sending out loud and clear. If you're not performing, you
No,
can
but
be benched. Doesn't
no, that's
matter
what I'm
how many
saying.
titles you
No,
won
no,
for
that's
us.
what I'm saying. This shows that the club is run in such a bad way. Like we are keeping a 350K keeper instead of selling him in the summer. We are keeping a
Hmm.
350K keeper in our team, and they're saying that
Yeah,
because
we
of
will we will
coronavirus,
make crazy amount of money also if we sell him.
yeah. But I don't think no
We can
one
get
will
a
buy
lot of
him
money.
because no one will pay that kind of wage to Brady. So it will be just like the Alexis
Or maybe
Sanchez
loan him
situation.
out. Or maybe loan him out to a top tier club.
I don't think even dude, again, they have to take certain percentage of the wage. And we saw
Yeah, yeah.
what happened with Alexis Sanchez, right? When he went to Inter Milan, there was so much of complication with the wage and all that. So there is a
Correct,
situation
correct.
again to that. So it will be very difficult. Okay, yeah. So Maguire, who else?
Yeah, so on the left back, Alex Telles,
Mm-hmm.
Maguire and Bailly.
Mm-hmm.
Right back, this guy, what's his face? Van Bissaka. So ahead of him, Pogba and Van de Beek.
Mm-hmm.
And
Bruno.
Van de Beek. Or maybe Van de Beek and Fred.
Okay.
Okay, and then maybe you can sub any of them later. And
And
then on
Bruno,
the
right?
left, Rashford. In the center, Bruno. On the right, maybe Martial. And ahead
Okay.
of them, Cavani.
Perfect. For me, it's the same. I would actually take out Van Bissaka and put in Brandon Williams because Van Bissaka hasn't been good for 3 games, and you need to show like
Yeah,
players that if you don't play well, you'll go on the bench straight away. So you need to put your
correct.
performance on the field. So I would play Bruno Fernandes on the right, and then in the midfield I would put Fred, of course, Van de Beek and Bruno again because Pogba clearly is not playing well, and also like same in the right I would put Rashford, and in the left Rashford, right Greenwood, and in the center Cavani for sure. But this is such a shambles, dude. See, even this team is actually pretty good compared to every other team in the
Yeah,
league, except for the top
yeah.
three team. This is actually pretty good team. But Ole, what is going on with Ole? And also the coaching staff is so bad, dude. I'm telling you, like some of the errors
Oh,
also
yeah.
have to be down to the coaching staff as well, because they are clearly
Yeah.
not good enough. I don't know what is going on. But anyways, I think now is the
That's a
time to
lot
move
of
on.
stuff about United. We had
Yeah,
to.
yeah, of
This
course.
is this is the only therapy we can afford.
I mean, clearly
After
they were the
all,
worst team in the entire match week. I mean, clearly United, except for Fulham, we have been the worst team this season.
yeah, I am worried. Like tomorrow, if United were to play Fulham, I will be worried because
Yeah,
that's how bad we've been playing.
exactly,
That's how bad we've been playing.
exactly.
I mean,
So
we had to. I'm sorry if this episode is getting longer, but this is the therapy we could afford,
yeah,
right?
this is like a
After that
catharsis.
disastrous performance of United.
Yeah, this episode
But
yeah, you can see it in two ways. Like it's a catharsis for us and also United fan listening to this, and it's such an
yeah,
enjoyment to all the other fans from other clubs listening to this because they're
yeah,
enjoying
yeah.
their misery.
I mean, we are obviously criticizing the club. We are making fun of the club because we are solid fans.
Yeah.
We
We
are,
want them to
true
be better.
fans.
We want them to be
Yeah,
better.
that's the only reason. I mean,
Yeah.
otherwise, of course, we've always loved the club. We will love the club.
Yeah.
Anyway, so talking about the other therapeutic session which we had post the United game,
This is for the
the
Liverpool fans.
7-2 destruction of the champions.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God. Who would have thought? Like at this point, it's difficult to predict the top six. Who will finish top six by the end of the Premier League, by the end of the season? Because
how bad Maguire was
anybody is playing, anyone is beating anyone.
Yeah.
And you're scoring shitloads of goals.
Yeah.
Every week you're having an average of 35 to 40 goals, which is ridiculous. If you follow football, in a week 35 to 40 goals is unheard of.
Yeah.
So
Dude,
this has just been crazy. Premier League has gone absolute madness.
I really think that is because of the fans, dude. Because I feel like if the fans were in the stadium, I don't think this result would ever have happened. I think it's really
the fans. Just imagine 60,000 people singing "You Never Walk Alone" in the Anfield stadium.
Yeah.
Do you think any other team would be able to beat Liverpool? I mean, they of course didn't play in Anfield this time. They played in Villa Park. But still,
it would have never happened like this. Never.
Yeah, not having fans is clearly having an impact on the players. They are playing. I think they are more relaxed. Aram se they are playing.
And
they
also,
are scoring goals just like they're drinking water.
So exactly.
So aram se they're doing it.
And also how bad Maguire was for us in the Spurs game. That's how Trent Alexander-Arnold was for Liverpool.
Oh man, he got me -1, dude.
I had
a fucker in my team. I got -1.
He was so bad. I think you could say like 4 or 5 goals were because of his mistakes.
The entire Liverpool defense were pathetic.
No, I don't know, but he was like especially bad. Like he was so bad. But you could also say that Aston Villa were actually a little bit lucky because so many, like I think 2 or 3 goals were because of deflection. 3 or 4 goals.
Correct. Yeah. 3 goals.
Yeah. So they were lucky with that too. But they were really good.
But we can't take the fact that they played really well. And I mean, Liverpool made them look good. Especially. It's not like they were damn good. Liverpool made them look good because of the errors and all of that stuff. But you have to give the credit because I think they studied Klopp's tactics very well. And this is a worrying factor for Klopp's defense as well.
Yeah.
Because Liverpool plays such a high line, man. Like the defense line comes up to the halfway line. I can see what's his face, Van Dijk, Gomez. And the fullbacks are always almost in the final third. And they are always there on that halfway line.
And also what was surprising that you couldn't see that Liverpool press that we usually see. There wasn't a lot of pressing. And this shows how important Mane is for the team. Because Mane presses
Mane and Henderson, Jordan Henderson.
Yeah,
why he's so important. We always question the existence of Jordan Henderson in a team full of superstars.
Yeah.
He is clearly a captain material. There is a reason why Klopp gives him the armband. It's because of the influence he has on the entire team.
Exactly.
He drives the entire team. Besides what's his face again? I keep forgetting his name. Van Dijk, who's a magnum opus presence in the defense. This guy is the same when it comes to the midfield. He moves the entire team forward. Even if he's playing shit, he's like Gerrard. He's like the modern version of Gerrard. He drives the entire team forward. That's one reason why Henderson is so important for the team.
And also watching the match,
Mane was clearly missed. Henderson was missed, and also Alisson on the goal list.
That first goal was because of that. The first goal was because of the goalkeeper.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Oh,
Alisson, besides being a sexy goalkeeper, a very good goalkeeper, he's an excellent distributor of the ball.
Yeah.
He's very good on the ball as well. When he's got the ball on his feet, his distributions, his passes are very, very good. And you can't blame Adrian for the entire match. It was just that one goal that he fucked up, the first goal, which was clearly a foolish mistake. It was clear, the body language of Joe Gomez was clear that, don't give me the ball.
Yeah.
Still, he managed to give the ball when Grealish was overshadowing him.
And how good was
Grealish? Took the ball, he passed it.
How good was Grealish?
Oh, man. I regret not having in my team.
I feel so bad that United didn't buy him, dude. Oh, he's such a good player. I've been telling you.
You know what? Until this season began, I was of the opinion that Grealish is extremely overrated because he's English and 80 million is way too much for him.
He's so good.
The game he played against Liverpool, he played like an 80 million midfielder.
Yeah, he's actually so good, dude.
So good.
But
Damn,
still,
he's so
80.
stylish, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Watching
80
him play
million.
is so stylish.
That's what I said, right? There is a reason why he has the most dribbles in the team, in the league, and why
Hmm.
he's been fouled so many times. He's really good.
Yeah,
Like, he
yeah.
drives the ball forward to the team. So
Correct,
he was
correct.
so good, man. And also the new signings, the forwards for Aston Villa, they also played pretty well.
Olive Atkins.
Yeah,
Olive
putting pressure,
Atkins. He was pretty
putting
good. Yeah.
championship. Really good signing. Really good signing.
He used to play for Brentford. He was very good at Brentford,
Yeah.
and that's why Aston Villa bought him.
Oh
And
God.
he could have scored 2 or 3 more goals easily. By the way, Aston Villa could have scored at least 10 goals,
Yeah,
10 or
for sure.
11 goals,
For sure.
because Ross Barkley could have easily scored a hat
And
trick.
Ross Barkley, what another signing. Awesome signing.
Dude, Barkley has always been a good player.
Yeah.
Like it's only Chelsea that he flopped at,
Yeah.
because one reason, because he was not given enough game time. But he
True.
was amazing at Everton, and he was so good against
Yeah.
against Liverpool in this Aston Villa side as well. He is a very
But
good player.
oh
I mean, no
God,
doubt
dude.
about it.
Dude, even like every single team is playing so much better than United. It's so depressing to watch, dude.
Exactly, dude. That's one thing I really like about the season.
Yeah.
Teams like Leeds, teams like Aston Villa, like they are not afraid to play their game against big teams like Liverpool and City.
Yeah.
Usually, what happens, like when there is a top side and when there is a bottom side club playing, the top side always attacks, and the top side holds most number of possession. Like the maximum possession is held by the top side, and they constantly attack. And
Yeah.
the only form of attacking the lower side does is counter attacks,
Yeah.
because that's what they can do. They have to defend for the entire match, and any attacking chance they create is through counter attack.
Yeah.
But here, like constantly they are playing direct football, they are making amazing passes and all of that stuff, they are playing diagonal balls, crossfield balls, all of these, and they're scoring
Again,
shitloads of goals.
again, the fans, dude. I'm telling you, fans has a huge impact on the game and the mentality of the players when they go through. But again,
Correct.
I'm not as alarmed for Liverpool as United, because like, just like how we spoke about Sir Alex Ferguson, getting battered 6-1 by Man City.
Yeah,
That's just a blip.
and they have the best manager in the world.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
their manager will definitely figure it out.
For sure.
He
For
will
sure.
figure it out.
Yeah. So Liverpool, I don't
Klopp
think
is a guy like that.
Liverpool fans, I don't think there's any need to panic. I think you guys will come back in the next match and you guys will hammer whoever you have in front
Yeah,
of you. So
this
I
was
didn't
just
think.
one of those days.
Yeah, that's it.
This
That's
is
it.
one of those days.
One of those weird days. Weird
But
days.
I was happy because we lost 6-1, being 10 men down. I mean, being
Yeah.
1 man down.
Yeah.
They lost 7-2 with a full strength squad.
I'm actually.
So I was really happy because of that.
I'm actually happy that Liverpool actually shared our misery along with us. It wasn't just us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The last time I think both United and Liverpool conceded 5 goals and more in one weekend. It was some 40 years ago, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous,
Yeah.
right?
It's
Oh, mad.
This just shows, dude, how 2020 has been a fuck all year for all of us.
But great if you're a football fan.
Exactly. They're very true. Very true. But after that, I think
That's why Premier League is the best. It's so
the
unpredictable.
best. The best.
I mean, Dhanush and I, before every game week, we make our predictions.
Yeah.
All our predictions have got the dustbin.
You were
we,
you were in third of. I think you were in fifth or sixth in the before this week. I think now you are in 16th or 15th.
Now I'm 14th.
Yeah.
I'm 14th in our mini league in the FPL. And not just that, the predictions that we make for each episode, like before each game week, we both predicted easily Liverpool will win at least 3 or 4 against Aston Villa. Who would have thought 7-2? 7-2, who would have thought?
No one thought about it. It's like that Leicester winning that league that one season, no one thought it would happen.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, by the way, there's a crazy stat.
Yeah.
So the last time Liverpool conceded 7-2 was 50 years ago. And I think it was against Spurs. 7-2 they conceded that game.
Yeah.
Okay, and when they conceded, when they lost 7-2, guess who won that title? Who won the Premier League that season?
Was it Manchester United?
Everton.
Really?
Everton won the Premier League that season. It was 1963 or 62. And at this moment, Everton are top of the league. And they're playing so well.
But there is another history with Everton. The Everton who I think their season where they have won the first 5 games have actually seen them in the end of the league actually plays in the bottom 10 or bottom. I think they have finished 10th or maybe 12th.
Mid-table. They would have finished mid-table.
Yeah, bottom of the mid-table actually. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
but
Yeah.
I don't think that will happen because look at the midfield they have and look at the manager they have.
But we will see how good they are against the champions because the next week game is a Merseyside derby, right? So that we'll
Oh
see
yeah,
how good that will
that'll be
be.
a mad game. That'll be a
Yeah,
crazy game to
we'll
watch.
see. But see, unless and until they change that keeper, I know he'll fuck it up again in the next game as well. Jordan Pickford.
Pickford was really good a couple of seasons back, but last season he was pathetic. He was very, very bad.
For sure, and he's continuing that in the
And
this season too.
yeah, and like he is definitely going to lose his place in the England squad as well.
For sure.
I think it's either going to be Dean Henderson or Nick Pope.
Yeah, I think Dean. I think
Nick
Dean.
Pope looks more more likely because he had a phenomenal season last year again with Burnley, and Gareth Southgate is supposed to be a big fan of Pope as well. So,
but if
there
Dean,
is talks that he will replace him.
Yeah, but if Dean starts playing for United as the number one, I think it's high time that Dean gets it because Dean is clearly good, clearly talent there. So I think he should get it.
True, good.
So I think
that is true. That is true.
Another big game that happened was Man City versus Leeds. How good was that?
Oh
game?
Yes. Well, let's take a moment and discuss that game. I think this game, the City and the Leeds game, was one of the best game I've seen in my life in the recent times.
So competitive, competitive.
It was one of the best game. I did expect a tactically masterful game, and boy, what a game it was!
So good.
What an amazing game of football it was. I enjoyed it. I almost climaxed watching the game because I was born for any football fan.
I think going into the match, I think we both actually predicted that there would be full of goals because Leeds, defensively,
we predicted a very high-scoring draw.
Yeah,
like 3-3 or 4-4.
Surprisingly, Leeds have actually tightened up their defense. They weren't actually letting too many chances for City to get back in, and they actually completely immobilized De Bruyne. Like he didn't have a lot of chances to create, right?
So here's I'll give you my analysis, my match report, okay? Because I studied the entire game. I watched the whole game with so much passion and so much enthusiasm. So the first 20 minutes of the game, City were being absolute City. City were being their absolute best.
Dominant.
That Sterling goal was amazing, and De Bruyne was untouchable. He was pulling the strings. He was making key passes, like creating all sorts of chances and all that stuff. After that first goal, after those 20 minutes, it was completely Leeds. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
So when you're playing City, when City is playing, you expect City to dominate possession.
Yeah.
In this game, Leeds had a possession of 53%. City was on 47%.
Which is unheard of, especially with the Manchester City team.
Can you believe a game where City has never dominated possession?
Yeah. True.
Like of course, like this possession stat you can imagine against top teams like maybe Liverpool, Bayern, or PSG or something like that.
But even if they lose a match, they never give up the possession. Even if they lose a match, they never give up possession like this.
That's their philosophy. That's their philosophy. Dude, and I'll give you another crazy stat. Okay, so by the end of the game, Leeds had 12 shots. Okay, and City had 23 shots.
Yeah.
But here's the catch. Leeds had 7 shots on targets. Mm-hmm. City had 2 shots on targets.
Again, this shows
23 shots and 2 shots on targets.
Yeah.
And Leeds had, out of 12 shots, 7 shots on targets. So more than 50% efficiency they had.
Yeah.
Which goes on to show, and of course, like the goal that they conceded, Ederson was superb in the game.
Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
If not for Ederson's amazing goalkeeping saves, Leeds should have won the game. Leeds should have won the game 4 or 5-1.
Exactly.
So that's how many key saves Ederson made.
Yeah.
And like the goal they considered was Ederson's mistake.
Yeah.
It's not like Leeds did, it was a crazy goal and all that stuff. But overall, if you look, Leeds deserved to win the game, man.
For sure.
And by a handsome margin of at least 4-1. At least 4-1.
4-1. For sure.
And the pressing, dude, my God.
They were so creative
I've never
too.
seen a game press. Exactly. I'll get to that.
Yeah.
I've never seen a team press so high, so intense. They covered 7 kilometers more than City players covered, which just goes on to show the work rate of Leeds players. And this work rate is number 1 in Premier League right now, if you look at the stats.
Yeah.
They cover 6 or 7 kilometers more than the second best team.
Yeah.
Which just goes on to show the tactics which just goes on to show what Bielsa demands of his players.
Dude, I'm scared when we play Leeds, dude. I don't know how badly they'll beat us.
We should be scared. If this is the tactics, if this is how a championship team is playing, we should be scared.
Wow.
I mean, and you mentioned the point of creativity.
Yeah.
Dude, like whenever they had the position, they always play direct football. Like they attack from the flanks or they play direct from the back.
Yeah.
And the passes they play, the vision that they have. Like I was discussing with my Liverpool friend,
Yeah.
with a very close friend of mine who was a Liverpool supporter. So he was telling me how good, like even when they are doing that overlapping thing on the
They
flanks,
were doing backheel
first of
passes and
all
all
they
that. I couldn't
yeah,
believe that
yeah,
against the City
exactly.
team.
And dude, after halftime,
Yeah.
Guardiola is making substitutions of who? Ake,
Yeah.
Bernardo Silva, and he's
Mendy.
got Fernandinho.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pep making defensive substitutions. Have you ever heard of that? Pep was fucking petrified.
Yeah.
Pep was scared. Pep almost pissed his pants. That's how scared he was.
He
He's got
wanted the match
Fernandinho and
to be over.
Ake.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's playing a defensive side. He's employing defensive tactics.
Yeah.
Wow, man, just unbelievable football, dude. Leeds.
And you could
I'm
see the amount of work rate that Leeds put in, especially after like the 70th or 80th minute. He made that substitution
exactly.
because you could see
Players
the
were tired.
players were
Bamford
so
couldn't
tired.
run.
Yeah, exactly.
Bamford couldn't run.
Yeah.
Click couldn't run.
Yeah.
These players just couldn't run, dude.
I mean,
That's how intense their pressing is.
right now you could say that Leeds are the only team in the Premier League where all the 11 players put everything on the field. Everything from
For sure,
the
100%,
minute 1 to
100%.
90th
They
minute,
play for
everything.
that shirt.
Everything.
They play for
Everything.
that shirt and they play for that manager.
Exactly. Which is what United lacks right now.
We keep telling Dhanush and I, we keep telling because like it's quite clear that we are Bielsa fans, right?
Yeah.
After all this admiration,
Yeah.
Bielsa is a manager who doesn't expect a marquee signing and all of this from his board.
Exactly.
He is happy with the players he's got. Like if you look at the players, like Dhanush mentioned, except Calvin Phillips, there is no other player who's of that like good quality material, who's that world class potential players and all that stuff. All of them are average players.
Yeah.
But that's the amount of demanding that Bielsa does from his players.
Yeah.
Bielsa wants more. Like so Peter Drury was commenting. He was the commentator of the game.
Oh, the best.
So
one of the best. One of the best.
The best, in my opinion, the best commentator. So he was telling like they always give that shots of Bielsa when the play is happening. Bielsa is always tense.
Yeah.
For not 1 second he's relaxed. So Drury was like, does he even know it is raining? Drury. So that's the passion he has for football.
Yeah.
He puts hours and hours of analysis.
And his
10 to 12 hours of analysis.
And I don't even know how much leg day he does every week because he squats every single time. Every single game he squats.
And for majority of the game, he doesn't like. He usually sits. He either sits on that drinking thing, like the drinking box, or he just squats.
Yeah,
that's all. And dude, he's 65 plus.
His legs and his glutes must be made of like solid iron or metal, dude. It must be so amazing. Like for the entire 90 minutes.
He melts fire and he hits. He puts alloys into his cuffs.
That's a manager who is like, and look at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He'll be sitting in the monitor, looking at the monitor. He doesn't even come near the pitch. He doesn't even yell at the players.
Four bottles of Gatorade he'll put in his mouth, nose, ears, and all. He'll chill. Dude,
and then he'll give reaction like this and all that.
Yeah. Bielsa doesn't even speak English. I don't know how he communicates with his players.
I don't know what he yells at the players whenever I see him yelling at the players.
Dude. Every time the cameraman cuts to Bielsa, he's always yelling tactics. He's yelling at one of the players. I can hear him tell, call me. It's so funny. Call me. He'll keep telling him because Calvin is the most important player in the team. He is the player from whom every attack originates, and he is the guy who thwarts the defense.
He has like
so he keeps yelling, call me, and he keeps yelling at him.
Yeah, exactly.
So Bielsa, dude, I mean, what a manager. Like,
this is the reason I don't want Ole here.
Exactly. He's the greatest manager who's never won any trophies.
Yeah, exactly.
And so like if you listen to the post-match interview that Pep gave, so after they had a very warm moment right after the match.
They hugged over.
They embraced each other. Yeah, they embraced. So the first thing Bielsa asked him is, what did you think of the game? It seems.
Really?
So, see, that shows the involvement of Bielsa. Yeah. So Pep was like, "Fuck, well, are you crazy? What kind of a question are you asking?" He told him, "I don't know." Like, so what Pep told him is like, "I don't know because I'm not in that sphere. I feel like I just escaped I just escaped a defeat or something like that.
Did he
And
seriously say
I'm
that?
not in a position to comment. Yeah, he said this in the post-match
Escaped a
interview.
defeat.
He asked, no, he didn't say that, but he was actually scared.
Okay.
His body language and the way he told, he was like, Pep was shocked that Bielsa asked him that question after such an intense game.
Yeah, I mean, the way that Bielsa researches the opposition team, he would have even known what Pep is going to say the answer for that. That's how he would have researched, for sure.
For sure.
Oh my
Because
God.
it said that like when he goes on vacations and all, even then, at least 10 to 12 hours of his day is spent on watching football games and analyzing each of those.
Yeah.
That's how intense a manager he is. That's how tactically good he is.
This is the reason why I want Ole out of the United, because with this team we actually can do pretty well in this season, especially when other teams aren't doing well.
Give this team to Bielsa, he'll win you the treble, man.
He'll win the Champions League, the treble, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, whatever you want to. Oh God.
Easy.
But it just shows. But all in all, Premier, and also Leicester lost against West Ham, right? I think.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Dude, West Ham, by the way, I think Moyes is under quarantine. Dude, West Ham are actually a very good team, dude.
Yeah.
Really, I think they are one of the best teams.
Even though
their fullbacks are insane.
Yeah, even though they actually had the same kind of transfer window that United have, where they didn't buy a lot of players, they're still playing pretty well.
They were brilliant against Leicester, dude. 3-0.
Yeah.
I had fucking Vardy in my team. Not 1 point he got.
What? This dude, we should just retire our FPL, dude. I'm telling you, we are so bad.
No. I'm going to wildcard my team. Game week 5. I have
by
to
the way,
wildcard.
what did you change your name? Why did you change your name?
So guys, we will put the league code. The name of the league is Sportify Fantasy Babes, and I have changed my name to Hardu Sancho Shakke. What a genius name!
Explain to the listeners.
So,
what does that mean?
So like people who follow us, for the 2.5 people who follow us, I am a huge BFC fan.
Yeah.
And one of the most amazing chants that BFC supporters sing in the stadium is Santosh Shakke.
Yeah.
Which is a very popular, very, very famous song, which is Shankar Nag's famous song in Kannada. It's called Hardu Santosh Shakke. We sing it the chants and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I just changed Santosh Shakke to Sancho Shakke.
But I think you need to change it now, right? But I think you need to change it now.
No. My fun game is very strong. So
it's not happening, dude. Why is there Sancho there?
No, by the way, I mean, United said that they will pursue Sancho in the month of January because hear me out. Because Sancho has told his friends that he will definitely end up at United. He's told his friends that I will definitely be a United player.
Liverpool are coming for him. Liverpool are coming for him, dude.
No. I think Sancho wants to go to United. Sancho is because he's very good friends with Marcus Rashford and Lingard and all of these players. So I think he will come to United. He wants to come to United.
Do you think we didn't pay 100 million for him this summer? Do you think next summer, especially Borussia Dortmund, where we have treated them so bad, do you think they're going to accept us?
I think we will. I think we should be getting him in January.
The only way I see us getting any signing in January transfer window is if we play that, like especially in the last season, how we played so bad and we ended up in like 12th or 8th position. Just like how we did in that season, we do the same thing in this season as well. I think only then we'll buy someone. For sure.
My only worry is with the current form we have, any top player can refuse us outward, like straight out they can refuse us.
And especially if you don't qualify for the round of 16 for the Champions League. Yeah, correct. Even that is a huge. It's going to be a huge
this time, though, if we don't do well in the Champions League, forget top 4 finish and all. Anyway, we are not going to finish in top 4 with the form we have.
Yeah.
The way we are playing, right?
Dude, imagine. But, okay, I know this is not going to happen. Okay, but imagine. This is like, I think this is just like a fool's paradise, okay? But imagine if we finish like 8th in the league, but we win the Champions League.
Dude, what is this? Like, even the people who bet Leicester, who gave 5,000 to 1 odds for Leicester winning the title, even they wouldn't bet.
Dude, after looking at... No, I was just thinking about it. After looking at United's transfer window, and even though we have a pretty good team, okay? Not as that bad as every other team out there. I was just imagining, like, if this was like a fool's paradise, if we imagine, like, look at how the 2020 season is going. It's so unpredictable. Like, you don't even know what's going to happen. What if...
I mean, I don't know.
Or imagine like this. What if Poch comes in?
If we finish winning up the Champions League, then I think Messi will leave everything and come to United only.
Yeah.
They're like,
But
oh my God, how did these guys finish? Will they end up winning the Champions League?
Imagine if Ole is sacked and Poch comes in, and then we go on to win the Champions League and finish poorly in the Premier League.
Messi will end up coming to this one only. He'll be like, I don't want wages. Like, I don't want you to give me my salary also. I'll play for free. It's okay.
Mbappe wants to leave next summer. If that happens, Mbappe is coming to United. That's it.
Yeah.
For
Mbappe,
sure.
Messi, both.
Mbappe will take 10 pounds and he'll come to United for sure.
Yeah.
Like United, imagine if that happens. I'm just saying, just go to an imaginary world and imagine where we win the and Liverpool.
Players like
and Liverpool don't win the league. And Liverpool don't win the league. City don't win the league. Everton win the league.
I don't see Pool winning the league. I don't know. It's like we did have that prediction at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Both of us, we feel like it is going to be City's year, but the way Premier League is panning out right now, it could be anybody's league. It could be anyone's league.
Dude, imagine if we win the Champions League, Liverpool don't win the league, and Everton win the league. It would be.
Oh man.
It would be such a parody of a year.
Like, then everything in history books have to close. Like the history has to close at 2020. There is no point writing.
Exactly.
You close the book. There is no point in maintaining any history then from then on.
We'll take 1 year break to savor all the things that happened in this year, and then we'll come back fresh in 2022.
But I will say this in every episode.
Yeah.
United, for the arrogance they have to get relegated. They need to learn. They need to learn.
Don't say that,
because
dude.
This is not how you play football. Trust me, this is not how you play football.
We'll become the next Leeds. Please don't say that. Don't say that.
Better no. We'll come back stronger.
20 years later.
16 years. 16 years.
Hey,
Hello.
Yeah. Anyways, that was our analysis.
My God.
Yeah. So, but we'll come back in the next episode on Friday. We'll come back and we'll do a transfer round.
We will do a separate episode on transfers.
Yeah,
on
transfer
the deadline
round.
Day transfers.
Yeah, on
all
the teams.
We have a lot to talk about that as well.
Yeah, on all the teams, and we'll also give our prediction for the next match week. So it's okay.
Yes.
We'll do it. We'll do that. So because
hopefully
transfer.
United.
Transfer. We have a lot of things to talk about because a lot of things happened in the deadline day. So it'll be important.
It was a very busy day for a lot of people yesterday.
Yeah.
A lot of football fans as well. So
and also the internationals is going on, so we can even talk about that too. Maybe if there is something interesting going on.
I really don't care about the international break.
No, I'm just saying.
I am just.
Maybe something interesting happens. So we'll see. Maybe Harry Maguire. No, I don't want to say that. I was gonna say maybe Harry Maguire gets injured and all that. I don't want that to happen to any player.
You had Maguire in your team, no?
I had him, dude. I had him.
Dude, have you lost your mind?
I took him out.
That decision?
I took him out.
But what's the point? The damage has been done. I think he would have given you -1 or -2.
I think I got -3 or something. -3 or -2.
Because I had Trent in my team, I got -1 or 2.
I had.
He considered
I didn't have Trent. Yeah, I didn't have. I was saved by that. Yeah, I didn't have Trent. Correct.
You had Van Dijk in your team, but.
No. I took Van Dijk to put in Maguire.
But Van Dijk still would have given you -2 because he considered 7 goals.
It's the same thing, so it doesn't matter, is what I'm saying. So I took him out. Don't worry about it. I took him out. So yeah. So but
FPL also. What a horrible weekend I had. United lost 6-1, and I scored 27 points in my FPL, man. And I took a -4 hit. I put Foden and what's his face? I put Foden and who's the other guy? One more guy I put Helder Di Costa in my team. Thinking that because it will be a high scoring game, one of these two will pakka score and all.
But I think Di Costa would have at least got you like 2 or 3 points, right?
Helder Costa got me 2 points.
Yeah, 2 points.
Foden also got me 2 points.
Yeah. Even I had Foden.
And I had both Son and Saint Maximin in my team. Saint Maximin, I took him and chucked him out of my team. He got 12 points he gave.
I had Son in my team. I took him out.
I benched Son, thinking that Mourinho won't start him. He got 15 points. Worst week. 27 points I got. Worst week.
But who could have predicted this? No one could have predicted this. So don't worry about it.
Yeah. That's why Premier League, it's the unpredictable league. You can't predict anything at all.
Yeah. And also we
just have to stop predicting.
Even in our league, there's not a huge difference between total points between everyone. Everyone are 10, 20, 15, 2, 3, 4, 5 points away. That's it. So yeah.
Right.
So I think that's
I will
enough for
bounce
this.
back. Next
Yeah,
week I'll make a solid team.
yeah, exactly. So I
But
think, yeah,
whoever is planning on using the wild card, make it immediately, guys, because there are chances the squad value will drop, the prices, the value of the player will be dropping, so
yeah,
you may not get the player that you want to.
yeah,
So, like maybe in the next 2 days, the prices of some players might drop, so you might want to change your teams immediately.
yeah,
I
and
mean, I still
also,
haven't changed my team. I
yeah,
have to change
some
my team
new
soon.
players coming in as well, Partey and all that. So that could be good as well.
Oh, we will talk about that in the next
Yeah.
episode. So look,
So
on that note, it's been a
yeah,
very, I don't know,
long,
emotional podcast.
yeah, and a long one.
Had
Yeah,
to be a long one, had to be
yeah,
a long one because we
exactly.
had some amazing games to
Yeah,
cover.
yeah.
So
But it's pretty good. Pretty good.
so
Yeah.
yeah,
So
pretty
I
good.
think
I
we'll see in the
mean,
next one, guys. Okay.
please, whoever is watching, please share your condolences for the
Yeah.
United defense in the
And
comments.
also like, share, subscribe this podcast so many other United fans can listen to it and
Yes,
maybe
yes,
find
yes,
some
guys. Please
solace.
share. We
Yeah.
will also try our best to share it with whoever we can, which is just 4 people.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
we'll see in the next one, guys. Okay. See ya.
Good night. GGMU.
Yeah. GGMU.